Three is systems of linear inequalities. The state objective is to graph the solutions of two or more inequalities. And here's your first example. Graph the system of inequalities and shade the solution area. Now, I know a lot of y'all couldn't do the first equation there, negative 2x minus 5. You didn't ask either. In this room, there were about 5 kids who cannot do y equals mx plus b. That's what both those equations are, isn't it? So if I'm looking at y greater than negative 2x minus 5, where's the y-intercept? I know Paisley can do it. What's the slope? Negative 2. You find that in front of x. I know a handful of y'all can't do that. And you need to be able to start doing that. You've been taught that since, what, 7th grade? Now, when I put a circle in negative 5, will it be open or closed? Open, because the inequality symbol is a greater than. There's no equality. And from there, what will I do? Down to and over 1. There's my 2 points that I need. Tanner, you mentioned something. The dash lines. There's no equality given. Now you might remember this lesson because usually a female teacher gives you lots of colored pencils. How am I supposed to be shading? Above. Now, if you're using a pencil, shade lightly, okay? But you're supposed to be shading above. Shade lightly, don't shade darkly. All right, there's one equation. Time to do the other one. It is y less than or equal to x plus 3. Where does it cross the y-axis? At 3. What understood number is in front of x? 1. It's going to be a solid dot. There's equality. And I'm going to rise 1 and run 1. How is it telling you to shade? Below, right? That's a less than symbol. Where's the solution? Where they're both shaded. All right. I can highlight it up here for you. I can change colors. This is the solution space. Maybe you can see it on your piece of paper. You know, when you shade over something twice, doesn't it get a little bit darker? Yeah. That's how it works. There's your solution space. You guys remember doing this in 7th or 8th grade? You should have. I did put one of these on your next test. I was nice enough and I even made it multiple choice. So that shouldn't be too bad. But what might throw you off is all this shading. I could see how shading would throw a kid off. It's just more complex, isn't it? Whenever I create your questions, and I like on a graphing question, if it's multiple choice, I'll use a site called Desmos. It's where my pretty little graphs come from, a site called Desmos.com. And I want you to see what this would look like on Desmos. It's negative 2x minus 5. Sorry, what was the symbolism there? Was it y greater than? There's y greater than negative 2x minus 5 and less than or equal to x plus 3. Obviously, by the time I go to the copier, it will be black and white. But hopefully you can see the double shaded area is this right here. It will be darker, won't it? So be on the lookout for that. All right, any questions so far? All right. Here's a system with no solution, supposedly. 2x plus 3y less than 6. What do you want to do with it? Y equals mx plus b. That was something I noticed. I think it was the second question on that graphing quiz I gave. You had something in standard form. Half my students missed it. Where's the 2x belong? All right. What happens to its sign? Changes. What are you going to divide by? 3. It's not hard. All right, so when I go to 2, will the circle be open or closed? Open. From there, what will I do? Down to right 3. Still open. Solid or dashed? Dashed. How might it shade? Which is what? Below. Don't use 2 fingers. Now, do we have to do all that fancy math on the next one? No. That's just straight up y equals mx plus b. Where's your first point going to be? That's where y is 4. The y-intercept of 4. 3, 4. Solid or open? Solid. Solid. That's right. Those of you who don't know what's going on, we're looking at the second equation. From there, what are you going to do? Down 2. Right 2. Yes, ma'am. Is the line dashed or solid? Solid. Solid. And how are we to shade? Above. Why is there no answer? Huh? I didn't hear you. Still can't hear you. Slope is the same, that's true. But the slope can be the same with the B answers. There was no overlapping shading. There's no shared space. That's why there's no solution. There's no solution because there's no shared space. You can have same slopes with inequalities and have answers. It's about the symbolism on the equation. If that second equation would have been less than or equal to, would there have been a double shaded area? Yeah, there would have been solutions. So it was doable, just wasn't doable on this problem. All right, this one has absolute value. I would say 30% of you still think absolute value looks like a line. I don't know what's wrong with you. What does absolute value look like? It looks like a V. We've been over that. We've been over that. I have done everything besides hit you upside the head with a 2x4 and make you recite it. It looks like a V. What's y less than 4 look like? Horizontal line. Where's it across the y-axis? At 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Will the circle be opened or closed? It'll be open. And what do you know about the line itself? Dotted, dashed, whatever you want to say. Anybody know how to shade? Below, that's a less than symbol. Less than is below. I'm taking my sweet time so y'all can keep up. There we go. All right, absolute value x plus 3. Melton, where's its vertex? Close. Abigail. Negative 3, 2. Always change the sign on x. Destiny, what's its slope? 1, that's right. Where did she come up with that slope of 1? That's right. Everything in this world has an understood 1 in front of it, kids. Those are understood concepts. All right, so I go fall back 3, rise 2. And Roland, what can you tell me about the circle? It's open. Of course it is. Alyssa, can you tell me what to do from there? Not down. Up. The slope was positive, wasn't it? That's right, because we need a what? A V. If you only go one way, you don't get to draw a V, you draw a straight line. And what do you know about the lines themselves when you start drawing? Solid or dashed, kids? Let's go with dashed. I think I heard solid. They are definitely dashed lines. And what's up next is going to be our shading. That is a greater than symbol. Aubrey, what you know about greater than? It is above. Is that the door? What do we got? Samari. That's what she looks like. I didn't get too close to the lines. I was coloring like I was a toddler earlier. I didn't get too close to the lines here. That little triangle there, which I just made look even worse. You see that itty bitty triangle? That's your solution space. A little triangle there that's shared by both. Anywhere in that little triangle is where the correct answer is. All right, any questions so far? Nothing? Silence? Good news is they're almost done. How many V's are we going to have here? 2 of them, kids. 2 of them. Amanda, where's the vertex on the first equation? 3, 2. Zeke, what's its slope? There you go. Slope is -1. That's enough to start drawing. When I start plotting points, will they be open or closed? Closed. All right, I got a point plotted. That's my vertex. From there, what do I do? Down 1 over 1. Both ways. I don't know why your generation has such a hard time with going both ways. Fastest thing. How are you going to shade? Beneath, right below. Anybody got any questions you can ask about the vertex or the V there? You need to get that down. You should be able to do these. And that form that we're using is used all year long for everything. Doesn't matter if it looks like U and S. Doesn't matter. It's used over and over and over. So catch on that the X value always lies and the Y value at the right is always the same. Where's the vertex on the second one? 3, 1, right? 3, -1. Horrible color. This dude has a vertex at 3, -1. So that would be about right there. Ashton, what number is understood to be in front of the absolute value symbol? 1. So what's the slope, Ashton? 1. So Kaylee, from that little pink point I plotted, what am I going to do? Since the slope is 1. Go up 1 end. That works. Anything else? You got to have 3 points for V. You have the right wing. How do you get the left wing? Instead of going up and right, what else can you do? Go left. That's right. There you go. It would be if I wouldn't screw it up, wouldn't it? Back, back, back. Thank you for the correction. Shading time. Love. How does it greater than the symbol? Maybe you already see it, but there's a little, I'm not sure if it's a rhombus or square. It's definitely a rhombus. There's a little diamond in there that's double shaded, isn't it? And it is presumably a square. Those guys have opposite reciprocal slopes. They should be pointing right angles. All that good stuff. There's your solution space. All right, last one, then you don't have to hear me talk for a day. Write a system of equations for the shaded region, then find the figures area.
Interruption. The lady from USABLE is here today.
It's mandatory, isn't it?
I know that she was coming, but she's here today. Every teacher and staff has to see her today, whether you're interested in her product or not. But you have to sign off that you have seen her because of the deductions and things like that come out in your check regularly. So all you have to do is go into the theater, that's where she's set up, sign your name. She's going to tell you what deductions are coming out of your check or ones that aren't, what's currently coming out. If you're interested in anything that she has, you're welcome to change that. But go by and see her. I recommend going in your planning period, but if you've already had that or need some extra time, Coach Downer will see your class. We'll be by to take care of you. Also, since we were having PLC meetings today, we're going to push those off until, if you've already had them, great, but if you haven't had yours yet, we're going to push those off until the rest of them until Thursday. If you have any questions, just email me. And
Don't you love it when they do stuff after you've already done it? I've already had the PLC meeting, lost my planning period, and now I have to go see her. All right, what's this thing start off by saying? It says, write a system of equations for the shaded region. That's a trapezoid, by the way. How many sides does it have? 4, so guess how many equations you're going to need? 4. 2 of them are easy. 2 of these are vertical lines. So that shouldn't be too hard. So I see 2 vertical lines. I know vertical lines are written x equals a constant. And I hope you do too. Now, since this is inequalities, I may not be using the equal symbol. I might use a greater than or less than symbol at the same time. But I'm going to do this thing left to right. So I notice this vertical line right here, and it's shaded to the right, isn't it? It's kind of what's going on in my head. On this vertical line, what's the x value? -3. That shouldn't be too big of a leap. So I have some relationship to -3. It's solid, that implies equality, but it's shaded right. What's that imply? Greater than or equal to. All right, next vertical line. What's the x value? It's 2. How are you shading? Left. If you're shading left, what's your symbolism? Less than or equal to. Good. 2 done, 2 to go. The other 2 lines are slanted. They're slanted, and do you know the y-intercept? You know where this line crosses the y-axis? Are you psychic? Do you know where this line crosses the y-axis? No. So you don't get to use what? You don't get to use y equals mx plus b. All right. What do you have to use? Slope. You can't actually use y equals mx plus b. Some teachers teach it, but I'm not one of them. We're going to use point slope. Y minus y1 is what? Let's do the one up top. What's its slope? How much does it rise? Goes from 7 to 10. What's it rise? 3. Goes from -3 to 2. What's its run? 5. You want to use the point -37 or the point 210? I don't care. 210 is fine. What's y1 then? About y x point? 2. All right. What property are you going to use? Distributive. What's 3/5 of x? 3/5 of x. How about 3/5 of a -2? -6/5. That's right. What do you do to this little dude? Add him. Rewrite him as a fifth. 50 over not 10. 5. You have to add 50/5. Hopefully you guys understand 50 over 5 is 10. We're going to add -6 and 50. I think that's what Paisley's saying back there. I think she said 44/5. I've been using the equal to symbol. I probably shouldn't have. That's the top line shaded beneath. So what's your symbol is? Less than or, in this case, equal to. Right, there's one of them. One more. And then after we're done with that, there's still more to this problem, isn't there? I know, it's horrible. Bottom line, what's its slope? 2/5, that's right. It fell from -2 to -4. It fell 2. It ran 5. Don't forget the negatives on it. That is decreasing, isn't it? It's downhill. Same formula. Do you want to use -3/2 or 2 -4? That's fine with me. Y take away a -2 equals -2/5 onto x take away a -3. What do you guys know about taking away negatives? We're just adding. I know a lot of kids like to change it on the spot. I probably did too when I was your age. But that's how long it takes to rewrite a line. What do you do with your -2/5? Distribute it. -2/5 of x minus what? 6/5, that's right. That little 2 is going to have to jump over and become negative. Rewrite 2 as in terms of fifths. 10/5. 10/5 is 2. Now the question is, what does -6/5 take away 10/5? -16, that's right. And symbolism. Here's the bottom line. How are you shading? Above. So greater than or equal to. All right, that part's all done. What's the last part of this question? Find the area. How do you find the area of that figure? What is this thing? Trapezoid. Area is 1/2 B1 plus B2. There's more. Height. Straight out of geometry, kids. Where do you get base 1 and base 2? The parallel sides. I don't know why you're thinking you can plug in -3, -2. They're lengths. These are your bases and base 1s and base 2s. That's base 1, that's base 2, or vice versa. It doesn't matter which one's which. That's base 1, base 2. Those are countable things. They are straight. They're not slanted. How tall is base 1? 9. He looked at the y values, kids. That's all he did. How tall is base 2? 14. From -4 to 10 is 14 units. All right. Where are you going to get the height? I'm 6'1". I measure my height when I stand perpendicular to a wall. You ever measure your height when you're slanted? Height is formed by using right angles. You draw something in that will form a right angle with both bases. That's how you find height, kids. This particular thing travels from -3 to 2. I don't know what the y value is on what I drew in, but I know the x values. So how tall is it? 5. Your height is 5. Do you have all the pieces you need? I think you do. We got 1/2. Base 1 is 9. Base 2 is 14. And then we're going to multiply by 5. You're supposed to do PEMDAS here. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. What's 9 plus 14? 23 times 5. What's 23 times 5? 115, that's right. Then you're just going to take half of that. How do you take half of something? Throw it over 2. Done. Unless it simplifies, don't worry about it. Perfect timing. Enjoy your day. May the worst be over.